Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing a lifted Ford F-150. And you know what? I'm absolutely sick and tired of reviewing these $20,000, $30,000 builds on top of the MSRP on an F-150 just for, you know, lift wheels and tires. And so I decided to find a lifted F-150 that's a little bit more affordable. And well, let's see if it drives just as good as the other trucks that are, you know, again, an extra $20,000, $30,000. Anyways, a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Mailer Ford Lincoln here in Provo for giving me some time with this truck. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below. Check them out. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for John Jenks. And then on a side note, if you want to save time, money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. It's good for 400 horsepower and then 500 pound-feet of torque, so I think that's plenty of power to move the tire and wheel package we have on this truck. Now, first off, the donor truck is an F-150 XLT. For those of you that are wondering, it looks like it's an XLT Sport because it's got the darker grille here. And you guys can see when I approached, it turned on the lights, which is a pretty cool thing with the XLT. The XLT actually has upgraded lights because, well, the base F-150s have halogen lights. But anyways, cool looking truck. Now, for our tire and wheel setup, which is the main part of this video, 35 by 12.5 by 20. And you know what? It's a pretty cool looking setup. I do like these wheels. I don't think I've ever seen this wheel design before on an F-150, so I think it looks pretty unique. And, you know, it's kind of, you know, toned down compared to what you usually see with larger wheels like this. Now, the truck is lifted. It looks like it's probably about a 5-ish inch lift. Sorry if I'm wrong on the exact specs, but if we take a few steps back, you guys can see the side profile. And again, this is just as big looking as those other lifted trucks that I'm always reviewing, so take that. Anyways, fixed side steps. And then popping over to the rear, you guys can see here with the setup. So we still have the regular leaf springs. I don't think they changed the shocks at all. I'm gonna have to like kind of pop. Oh, can't get the camera through. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to see because it's dark, but it looks like we just have stock shocks here with the truck. Almost like hit my face in the exhaust tip. That's funny. And then, yeah, same thing here in the rear. And then with the XLT, you just have the baseline taillights, if you guys are wondering. And then interior-wise, this has the normal XLT interior. So you got nice padding on the armrest, and then you got these cloth seats. These are slightly more upgraded compared to what you get in like an XL. The door panels looks pretty much the same, but like the seats are upgraded a little bit. And then you get the bigger gauge cluster here with the XLT. And then this one's got the 12-inch display, dual zone climate, heated seats. And then notice we got a locker there for the rear. And then no sunroof or anything. And it looks like we have fixed rear glass. That's interesting. Huh. Interesting. Again, I reviewed a bunch of these trucks. This is mainly focused on this and if it drives as good. So here's the window sticker for this truck before the stuff added to it. So 302A equipment group for those of you Ford nerds that are wondering, and then 355 axle ratio. It'll be interesting to see how that performs. Off-road package, so skid plates and everything. Cool. So base MSRP $48,000, total MSRP on this one $62,350, and then lift wheels, tires, 7620, so $69,970, so just under $70,000, which sounds like a lot, but again, a lot of these like lifted F-150s that are built off of XLTs that I've been reviewing, they're all like over $80,000 or sometimes even over $90,000. So let's see if a, you know, relatively much more affordable XLT F-150 with this package drives as good as those other trucks that are, you know, quite a bit more expensive. Okay, so let's set off in this lifted XLT, and love the 12-inch display because it gives you a bigger backup camera view compared to the smaller display. I'm mentioning all these things between this and a base model because I just reviewed that STX before this. I love the look of that STX, don't get me wrong, but this definitely has a few more creature comforts, that is for sure. And I guess we're starting to do nighttime reviews, so I don't purposefully do this. What happens is, like, I'm like, this is completely unrelated to the review, but like, so as I was saying before, that person like started flashing their lights at me for no apparent reason. I'm supposed to wake up at like 6 in the morning and I wake up at like 9. Yeah, I know. I'm like the stereotypical millennial. So then that means I have to work until like 1 to 2 in the morning, and yeah, it's a cycle. So because we are coming into winter, that means that, well, the sun goes down at an earlier time. So that means that while I'm out reviewing, well, yeah, nighttime happens. So I guess that we will start to have more night reviews, even though I don't like night reviews because it's harder to film. But some of you guys seem to like these nighttime reviews because you can see like, ooh, here's what the lights look like at lower lighting, all that kind of stuff. So I get it. Anyways, let's talk about how this truck drives. First off, ride quality is pretty good, actually. So the F-150, I think, is a really good platform to lift, just because Ford's done a really good job with just making it so that this truck rides just really smooth. And actually, I need to adjust this down a little bit so I can see. Oh, it won't go down. Never mind. I guess that we're at where we're at. I was trying to, okay, while we're waiting here, I'm interested to see what the tire pressure's at. Okay, so the tire pressure is a little bit higher than what I would have it at, because 35, I mean, it depends on the tire and everything, but typically, can you turn your lights on, Chevy? Anyways, typically with 35s, I usually like to be in the high 30s, not in the, this is in the mid 40s. So that means that we'll have a little bit less cushion here with this because the tires are a little bit higher PSI. Oh my gosh, I did not mean to do that. Yeah, it spun the back end a little bit. So yes, this EcoBoost can move these 35s no problem whatsoever. Ride quality is actually pretty good. You know, for being lifted and everything, this thing drives really well. I will say though, I can tell, like, again, I drive so many trucks. I can tell that just because the tires are at a little bit higher PSI, it's kind of making this a little bit bumpier. Okay, so continuing along in our lifted F-150, handling is actually pretty good too. Again, it is a pickup truck, it is a lifted pickup truck, so yeah, there's body roll and all that kind of stuff. But for what it is, it actually handles pretty well. So summing things up, does this drive as good as those other lifted trucks? And my answer is, yeah, it does. I guess the only thing is, you know, maybe if this had like Fox shocks in the rear, I think that that would help out a little bit with some of the back end kind of bouncing just a little bit with this package. It's not bad. I'm nitpicking this as much as possible because I'm trying to find out why this is $7,500 and why all those other lift packages are like 2,000, or sorry, not 2,000, 20,000 plus dollars. So yeah, the Fox shocks in the rear would help out a little bit, but not necessary. The biggest thing is just, yeah, if the tire pressure was a little bit lower, that would help out with the, it would just smooth everything out. And so, yeah, I think I would rather do this, honestly, because I think this truck still looks really cool. The wheels look really cool. And, you know, even though this does not technically have, you know, an upgraded, I don't think it does. I mean, John Jenks can, you know, correct me in the comment section below if I'm wrong. I don't think this has like an upgraded warranty that covers the lift components and everything. But, I mean, I don't think I'd care. I think that I would rather, me personally, with how frugal I am, I think I'd rather go, okay, you know what, cool, I don't have a warranty on the lift or whatever it is, or there's probably a warranty from the lift company. But anyways, the point that I'm trying to make is, even if there isn't, even if there's no warranty, I'd rather save myself, you know, $10,000, $20,000. And yeah, I'd rather go for this. So let me know what you guys think about this, and that's all. That's gonna sum things up with our video on this lifted XLT. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Ford Lincoln here in Provo for giving me some time with this truck. Check out the inventory in the description down below. Ask for John Jenks if you have any questions. I'll see ya.